Hey learners, welcome to my channel. Well, I know you all are working really hard for your IELTS final test. And why not? It is one of the most ideal and widely accepted proficiency tests trusted by most of the universities and colleges worldwide. Here in this video, I shall guide you and help you to make your exams prep easier and quicker. Friends, this video is about IELTS listening module, tips, tricks, and strategies. Also, the practice plans to chase your desired bands. So let's get started. As we all know that IELTS facilitates two sort of tests, that is academics and general. Well, for both the trainings, it is always important that you start your preparation with listening module. Well, I think so. It is one of the best ever strategies for IELTS preparation. It is always good that you start with listening module. Why is it so? The reason behind it is there are no basic rules in order to prepare listening, unlike what you have in other three modules. You don't have any bend markers which you have to follow. You are free to understand the accents. The game is all about focus and alertness. So that is one of the reasons why I feel that listening module is the easiest module out of the four. So it is always good in order to build your confidence, in order to understand the grammar, in order to prepare yourself mentally for preparing the other modules. It is always important that you start your IELTS preparation with listening module. This tip of mine is definitely very important for the beginners. I think beginners must follow this and start their exam prep with listening module. There are two modes of IELTS examination, that is computer based and pen and paper based. Particularly talking about the listening module, definitely there is no major difference between computer based exams and pen and paper based exam. Well, computer based exams is also said to be as CBT and pen and paper based exam is said to be as PBT. The only difference is at the end of the listening test, the computer based people gets just 2 minutes, right, to write the answers or check the answers. Well, after the 2 minutes the screen gets locked. Well, the benefit for the PBT people is that they get 10 minutes at the end of the examination, and I think that is maximum and more than enough to assure yourself regarding the answers. Talking about the pros and cons of the CBT and PBT, that is computer based exams and paper based exam, it is very clear that when it comes to computer based exams, students who are well acquainted with the computers, who can skillfully use the computers, can adopt the CBT sort of examination. Well, there are no major differences. Well, exam duration for the computer based is 30 minutes, whereas for the paper and pen based is also 30 minutes, but computer based people get just 2 minutes, and after that, as I said you, that the screen gets locked after the designated time. But for the PBT people, they get 10 minutes extra, and that is, I think, wisely enough for the pen paper based exam to use this 10 minutes. But yes, PBT people have that pro part that they can use enough time and they can erase and edit their answers. Well, the CBT people have just 2 minutes for that. Okay, the thing is that for the CBT people are provided with a page and a pen, but I think there seems to be very less time that they could use it. So I think there's no major differences, but the most important thing is, if you are adopting CBT, it is important that you are smart enough to skillfully use the computers. Let's check about the band allocation for the general and academics for the listening module. It is similar for both the trainings. Well, the raw scores are for the 40 questions. We all know that in the listening sessions there are 40 questions, and the allocated bands are given in the chart. You can follow them. Strategy 1 for IELTS listening module from my side is familiarize with the test format. It is very much important that you familiarize yourself, you get to know what is the test format. And for high band score, it is ultimately necessary that you need to check how the test format works. Let's quickly check what are the key features of the test format. The examination is for 30 minutes. There are 4 sections. That means there are 4 audios being played. There are 40 questions out of the 4 audios which you will have to answer. Now, all the listenings or all the audios which have been played are all the real world listening situations. That means somebody is inquiring, you get to listen someone who is giving a dialogue regarding certain subject, two three people are talking about the worldly situations, so the topics could be familiar to you. Now, if you talk about the difficulty, ultimately the first and second part is the easiest out of the two. The rest of the two are a bit difficult. So as you move from the first, the second will get bit harder, the third is little bit more harder, and the fourth will be the toughest part of it. But practice will make it more perfect. Nothing to worry. Now, there will be range of topics and tasks which has been talked in the audios. So you will have to check for specific informations, dates, places, names, adjectives, adverbs, verbs, and you'll have to understand the gist of the listening. The most important thing you will have to check is the speaker's attitude and opinion, whether somebody is inquiring, who is answering, the gestures which have been displayed in the form of audio. So you'll have to take care of all these things. The listening test format in form of questions. Section 1, conversation between two speakers. Section 2 is a monologue. Section 3, conversation between more than two speakers, could be 3 speakers or 4 speakers. And section 4 is always a lecture. So this is the test format for your listening module. Section 1 carries 10 questions, and as I mentioned you, is the easiest part of the listening. Well, it is always a conversation between two people, and it is always in a kind of an inquiry been plotted. Think about a job candidate is talking to the human resource, or a student is making an inquiry, someone is making an inquiry regarding hotel accommodation, a hostel warden is talking, a receptionist is talking to someone who has been calling on the phone or asking about something. So ultimately it's a kind of a form filling process. So you should be aware that the section 1 could have the questions like somebody is talking about the pin code, about the surname, about the first name, could be asking about the addresses, what facilities someone is asking for. So these are the few common things which you should always pre-prepare in yourself that could be asked in the section 1. But mind well, according to me, that every section has 10 good questions. Section 1 also carries 10 good questions. If you are able to answer all 10 questions correct or correctly, then think at the very first spot you will be at the band score 3.5. So again, it is going to boost your confidence, and whenever you prepare, your section 1 should be very clear, and you actually prepare in a way that you get all the answers correct. So this is the checklist. Few important things to remember while preparing your listening task. So these are the key things for the entire 4 sections. The very first thing is accents. So you always need to get your ears audible with various accents, that is American and British accents. Get to know, get it audible, make it easy for your ears. And this is going to happen only if you practice your listening every single day. Make a practice that you practice your listening, at least one listening every day. Second thing is vocabulary. Range of vocabularies is a great game to play in the Ielts. We all know that. So, well, when we talk about listening, the question will have certain word. Well, a synonymical word will be spoken in the audios. So they won't be that hard, but as you practice, you'll get to know how it goes. The third important thing is multitasking. So when you are listening, you are at a multitask job. That means at the same time you are listening, you are writing, right? And you are trying to understand what is going on. You're following. So your eyes are working, your ears are working, your hands are working. So you need to be really accurate. The fourth important thing is focus. You really need to be attentive, well focused during your IELTS listening test? Well, many students complain that, oh, ma'am, there's lots of thoughts in our mind when we are actually listening. No, don't let these thoughts intervene your examination. It is really important. When you sit for examination, there's only one destination in front of you, that is your IELTS exam, right? And you need to crack it with flying colors. So that is the only motive you start your preparation with. So don't let your focus deviate. The fifth and important thing is grammars. Oh God, grammars is a great game to play. So, of course, many times I said you in my previous videos as well, they are the bases and basics for your IELTS. So, you need to check the grammars. So, as you will practice, you will come to know that how the grammar plays the game in the IELTS listening. And it's very easy. Once you get to know the skillful thing, how the grammar is working, like a and the, you would come to know that what you are supposed to apply in the answer. Noun is given, you are just supposed to add the adjective. So this is how it goes. If adjective is given, you are supposed to check that the answer would be definitely a noun. So this is how grammar gives you links to find the answers. The sixth part and most important thing is commands and orders. Of course, commands are very much important. Write no more than two words or a number. So, what's a number? A number is like, it could be 10 digits. If it's a phone number, it could be 10 digits, but 10 digits make one sensible number. That's a single phone number. So, you need to understand all those things, key things, that always, whenever you go through the listening thing, the commands and orders are very much important and you have to follow them. Now, things to remember. Predict your answers. So, prediction is very much important to chase the listening test. So, whenever you get enough time when the audio pauses, try to utilize that time in reading the questions. This is going to help you to understand well what could be the possible answers, and the grammar aspects also help you in such prediction procedures. That means if dollar is there, of course you are supposed to find the money part. If the dash is in front of the name, that means the surname or the first name is to be suppose found in the audios. So this is how it goes. Another thing is, make sure about the number or word to be written. So the commands, you assure yourself about the commands. This is very much important, whether you are supposed to write the answer in form of two words or a number or a one word or a number. You should be very much known to it. Do not repeat the word given in the question while writing an answer. This is the awful thing generally the student follow in their examination. What they do, if a dollar sign is given, why there is a need to write the dollar sign again in the answers? See, if the it is going to make the thing difficult for you. Also remember to carefully find the answers. There will be many traps. Like, speaker may change the answer, like, will you be able to arrange on Monday? Well, it will be okay on Tuesday. So the correct answer is always the second answer. It is never the first answer. So take care of it. Be careful about the pronunciation. Of course, the foreign accent pronunciation for words and numbers is very much different than what we speak in the Asian countries. So, like, suppose if they are talking something about the phone number, how they are going to pronounce it. It is 1785009. Now, instead of triple O, they would say triple O, double O, a single O, right? So be aware about the zero thing. It is always, they always used to speak O. Then always remember that H is always in pronounced as H. Be clear about such pronunciation. There are many such words which have been pronounced in a very different way in the foreign accents. So this is definitely you are going to overcome as you practice well. Silly mistakes what you make, which we have already discussed prior. Payment in dollars, so definitely don't copy the sign or the dollar thing which is already in the question. You just have to write in the answer sheet the dash part, the blank part. That is only the thing which has been asked to you. Time dash hours, you don't need to write hours, dash is enough. Answer only the needed part. Please be careful about it. The second section is a monologue, and it could have a table completion, a sentence completion, like a flow chart completion, a diagram of a library or any such a place, like a hotel, and you're supposed to follow the commands which have been spoken in the audio, and finally find the answers about the room numbers or places or whatever it has been given. Section 3 is a bit hard than the section 1 and section 2 is about the conversation between more than two people. It could be three, it could be four, and it's more challenging in the context and content. With also, it has a high range of vocabs and vocals. Various question types could be used. Of course, could be map labeling or diagram labeling can be asked even in the section 3. So again, it carries 10 questions. Like for maps and diagrams, I will here give you some key points how to track the answers. Well, if you would think about what makes each location on the map different from the other location, that means suppose if you think if a plan of a library has been given, a map of a library has been given, so think one room is having a lobby attached to it, one room is having it's near the reception area, one of the room is having a window which falls towards the garden, one room is near the washing area from where the reception starts. So this is how it works. Before the audio starts, you need to check the locations on your own, that how each part is different from the another one. So this is something which is going to help you. Also, you need to know that how locations can be described, like without right, left, south, north. How locations can be described: it is beside the market, it is near to the petrol station. So these are the few key things, like how you can denote locations rather than denoting that the directions like right, left, south, north. So learn these things before itself, prior itself, that you could locate directions in a different manner. This is how it is definitely going to help you to find the correct answers for your maps and diagrams, I'm sure. Section 4 is a monologue. It's a dialogue, a lecture, a presentation, a talk, a speech that is continuous. There are no breaks. Yes, when it comes to section 1, section 2, section 3, there are breaks in between. The 10 questions have been divided into two parts, and then it has been presented in front of you. But section 4 is continuous. Well, most of the students find it bit hard, but here I'll give you one tip how to overcome the section 4 part. Always have a practice of script writing. Now, what is a script writing? Script writing, that means you doesn't need to drop down everything what the speaker speaks in the section 4, but key things, as if like when we are in the college and a lecture is going on, and how you drop down the key points in such a manner. Just drop down the key points and have an eye on the questions itself, so that it is going at the end when the listening is over, as it is the last section of your listening. Once the listening part is over, you can quickly check out the answers and the correct answers out of the scripted version of yours. So this is the section 4 of your listening test. My strategy too is practice note writing or script writing. This is ultimately very much important for the beginners. For those beginners or for those students who are from other languages, that means they are not an English medium student and they suffer a lot when they start with the IELTS. So for them, this is a great tip from my side. Whenever you start your listening practices, listen and write. So once you listen and write, you get more acquainted with the listening task, and this practice you are supposed to do for at least 6 to 7 days. After 6 to 7 days, you are well ready for the listening test. You can understand the accents. It helps you in many ways. Such practices helps you to focus well. It solves your problems of focusing. It helps you to understand the pronunciation. It helps you to understand the accents. And the most important thing is accuracy. Your brain gets very much ready and it gets trained that how you are going to prepare yourself for the listening. After all, IELTS is the game of brain. So you are supposed to train your brain in the IELTS examination, and this is how it helps you to train your brain for the listening test. Strategy 3 is practice only under the test conditions. So listen the test and learn. Well, at this point, I would never say that listen the podcast and listen the news and listen so many other sources, but listen your IELTS listening audios. These audios will definitely help you to prepare yourself for the examination in a very well way. Strategy 4, do not repeat even if you are listening for the first time. So, never practice in a way that you repeat your listenings again and again and again, even if you have just started, if you're a beginner. Train your brain in a way that there is no rewind switch in your IELTS listening test. See, if you once have a practice of repeating the thing again and again, you are never going to prepare yourself for the listening. You will remain at the same poor stage. So if you want to quickly prepare yourself, and even if you want to get higher bends, always have a habit never to repeat. Strategy 5 is answer all the questions. There is no point that you do not answer the question. There is no negative markings, so there is no threat that you are going to lose the marks if your answer is wrong. So always have a habit. Try, if you could not find the answer, no issues. You may write the assumed answer of the given question. Strategy 6, utilize the time while the recordings have gaps. Your section 1, 2, 3 are generally divided into two sections, as all of them carry 10 questions each. So when these gaps are given, there's always a kind of an audio played, like you can check the answers, and the second audio is now you can go through the questions. You can use both these gaps for reading the questions which are supposed to come for the coming recording, so that you can have more clarity about the question, and you can predict, you can assume very well that what you are supposed to find out while the audio is being played in order to get the correct answers. Strategy 7 is write correct spellings. So always try learning it by understanding the pronunciation. If you find it difficult, if you do not remember the spellings, so understanding the pronunciation is a key thing. So once you are well aware that how the pronunciation is been carried for the particular word, so that you can easily write these spellings. So this is how it comes when you practice. Also practice the spellings on daily basis regarding few common and uncommon words. This is also going to help you prepare yourself for the correct spellings for all the sort of listening or writing thing. Strategy 8 is do not drop answers on the answer sheet while listening the test. So this is very much important, that while you are listening, never try to touch the original answer sheet. Try to write the answers on the question paper itself. If you're going to do that, it will be difficult in a way that you're going to disturb the sequence as well. So at last 10 minutes, you can utilize it for writing the answers neatly, correctly, with correct spellings, and be aware of the sequence. Do not deviate from the sequence. If once you are deviated from the sequence, all the answers will be wrong. So don't create such blunders. Strategy 9 is use authentic listening material. It gives you directional practice and also helps understand the test very well. So here I would advise you that you should follow the Cambridge books. There are 18 Cambridge books for both the general as well as the academic training, and each book has 4 such listening tests. They're also well provided on YouTube. If you want, you can search it, and finally you are going to get the listening. Practice them well. Once you are ready with the nick and knocks of the listening test, then you can follow the listening which are provided on YouTube or in any other material. So that is wise enough. Strategy 10 is look for synonyms or keywords while listening. That is definitely going to help you to find the answers quickly. I mentioned you many times that your synonyms and keywords are very much important. So be skillfully prepared for these two things. Strategy 12 is your scores tells the true story. So It is always good to maintain a book where you're going to drop down your daily scores, not only for your listening, but I would definitely advise you for your reading as well. So once you maintain such books, it is going to help you to know yourself, that is where how well you are prepared. It is going to also let you know that what average scores you get, and at what average band your preparation is right now. Also you can help yourself to judge in your own way that when you can book your examinations. So it is a very good thing that if you maintain your progress report on your own, and you can judge yourself or your preparation by dropping such scores every day. Practice is the key. Practice listening every day. This is the greatest advice from my side. Do not forget to practice at least one listening a day till the last day of your final examination. This is a very good practice, and it just takes 30 to 40 minutes for preparing yourself or practicing for the listening test a single day. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope this video proves to be really helpful to you for preparing your IELTS examination. Do like, share, and subscribe my channel. Do not forget to subscribe. Stay tuned. Bye bye for now.